Have you ever wondered what marriage and family therapy is really all about? Marriage and family therapy is a solution-focused therapeutic approach that is designed with the end in mind. Marriage and family therapists treat an array of issues, including marital problems, anxiety, individual psychological issues, family relationship issues, and even sometimes suicidal clients. Research has found that marriage and family therapists can sometimes be more effective than the standard mental treatments given by a medical clinician. Today, we're going to discuss 3 different aspects of marriage and family therapy. First, we're going to discuss the foundation of marriage and family therapy and how it was founded. Second, we're going to discuss the difference between marriage and family therapy and a mental health clinician. And lastly, we'll discuss how to become a marriage and family therapist. So, when you hear marriage and family therapy, like I did, I never really knew where it came from. So, marriage and family therapy is based off of a theoretical approach, as I mentioned earlier, that is based off of the family systems theory. The family systems theory was coined by Dr. Murray Bowen. This theory views that the family is an emotional unit, which means that each member of the family is emotionally connected. This theory states that families are so closely connected that they can affect each member's thoughts, feelings, actions, and coping mechanisms. It can seem as if they live under the same emotional skin. How crazy is that? The theory views the family as an interdependent system because a change in one person's functioning can cause a change in the rest of the members' functionings. This cause and effect differs in degree with each family, but ultimately it happens in each family. I think that is pretty interesting. This theory has 8 concepts that we won't go over in detail, but they are as follows: triangles, differentiation of self, nuclear family emotional process, family projection process, multi-generational transmission process, emotional cutoff, sibling position, and societal emotion processes. Because of the title of marriage and family therapy, many people think that it doesn't involve them because they aren't having a marriage issue, or that it only goes for family conflict, but this thought process is incorrect. Marriage and family therapy can benefit anyone because of its theoretical approach. It does not only include those within the marriage relationship, it can include those within any kind of relationship. The framework is not biased to a traditional family, as in it doesn't only talk about the nuclear family. There is no one working definition of family, so anyone can choose what family they're speaking of. So our visual aid today goes with our family systems theory. So as you can see, the input would be a stressor such as divorce, or it could be something like even just a sickness, a family member getting diagnosed with sickness. So that would be the input. And as you can see, it says throughout, so it goes throughout the whole system. It doesn't just affect the one person that the sickness affected, or just the 2 people of the divorce. It goes throughout the whole family system and everyone is affected, and there is an output by that, and that output goes into the environment. So as you can see, like we said, divorce, it affects not just the mom and dad, it affects the kids, it affects the grandparents, it affects just the teachers that are teaching the kids. It really affects anybody within their environment, and then there's an output that goes into it. So that's really the foundation of marriage and family therapy, is the family systems theory. So next we're going to talk about the difference between marriage and family therapy and mental health counseling. So the big thing to know is that there is a huge difference between marriage and family therapy and mental health counseling. Mental health counselors provide more of a client-centered therapy process with a problem-solving approach to address the change and to address problem resolution. Occasionally, mental health counselors will work with other mental health professionals so that they can benefit the health of the client, such as working with a psychiatrist to work on the medicine or something like that. Whereas, like we discussed earlier, marriage and family therapy is not client-centered because it focuses on the surroundings, such as the context that they're in, or the family system of what's going around them. It doesn't solely look into the client. So the big picture for this is for us to realize that marriage and family therapy focuses on the impact of surrounding the client, and the mental health counseling focuses on an individual and a diagnosis with medicine without taking the client's surrounding circumstances. So next we're going to talk about how you can become a marriage and family therapist. So it takes a good bit of education to become a marriage and family therapist. First, you have to get your bachelor's degree, and this is kind of where you have some freedom. You can decide if you want to do psychology side, or if you want to do a social work side, or if you want to major in counseling, or like I am in right now, I'm doing family and child studies. Personally, I would recommend finding a bachelor's or undergrad program that really focuses or hones in on family theories, because like we said in our first section of the speech, marriage and family therapy is so based on theory. It's a theoretical framework. So I would recommend making sure that you're in a program that really discusses family theory, because whenever you move on to your master's, this is a big part of your master's program. After you've earned your bachelor's degree, you must move to the next level of your master's program. The length of these programs differ with each school. So for example, the program that I'm doing will last about 2.5 years, but it really just depends. When you do your master's program, you can decide if you're going to go full-time or if you're going to go part-time. And so since I'm doing full-time, I'm going to finish in about 2.5 years. Sadly, just getting your master's degree doesn't earn your way to being a marriage and family therapist. After you've achieved your master's degree, now you have to achieve licensure in the state that you want to practice in. So, for example, in Louisiana, the students are required to attend a program that is CACREP accredited. Sometimes there are special exceptions for you to get around this accreditation issue, but for the most part, when choosing your institution, you want to make sure that they are accredited by the state that you plan to practice in, because what a nightmare it would be to go through a whole master's degree and then realize that you can't even get your accreditation. So, once you have received your master's degree, you move on to a national exam called the National Counselor Examination of Licensure and Certification. Once you pass this exam and all your paperwork is taken care of, you have to do 200 hours of internship hours, 2,000 hours within 2 years. So, as you can see, it's a pretty lengthy process to become a marriage and family therapist. This is just a fun fact. According to Salary Expert, marriage and family therapists make an hourly rate of around $32 an hour and annually achieve $67,369. And like I said, this is just an average, because starting out it'll be different, and once that you have really gotten it down and you've built up your clientele, obviously you would be making more money, especially if you went on to get your doctorate after you got your master's degree. So, as we wrap up, I want to remind you of each section that we've talked about with marriage and family therapy today. We've talked about how the systems theory that was coined by Dr. Murray Bowen created the foundation for marriage and family therapy. We talked about the difference between marriage and family therapy and mental health counseling and how it has two different approaches. And we talked about the necessary steps to becoming a marriage and family therapist. So, I want to recommend marriage and family therapy to you. If you think that it's something that could benefit you, I would definitely encourage you to step out and take the next step to hook up with some kind of therapist near you, whether it be in a clinic or whether it be someone who practices out of their house. It's a great thing.